Hey, all you cool cats and kittens, it's Miss Ludwig from science class. Just kidding. If you do not get that reference, it's okay. It means you don't watch as much crap TV as the rest of us. But anyway, it is me, Miss Ludwig. I want to go over really quick what your assignments are for science class this week. So I'm going to look at first this document, which lays out what assignments you should do and about by when you need to finish them. And then I will also go into Canvas really quick and show you where you can find everything in Canvas one more time, but I think most of us are starting to get the hang of that. So this is our week at a glance for 4-6 through 4-9. Notice that it does not include Friday, which is April 10th. That's because Friday is technically the first day of spring break. Woohoo! Not that we can go anywhere. Boo. So anyway, our assignments this week. You should have already checked out the syllabus, watched my videos on how this whole course will run. You should have completed the 8.1 section all about weathering and erosion on Canvas and done your 8.1 Canvas quiz to unlock the rest of the information. So this week we are going to be moving on to the next section, which is 8.2. This is all about the different types of rocks. I know that you have learned that in the past, that there are igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary rocks, and with the rock cycle, just like the water cycle, it's never ending and rocks continue to change form and be created all the time. So you will be doing the notes on page 4 if you're using the Paper Lab notebook. That would be page 4. If you're doing the digital notes, it's just under the section called 8.2 Types of Rocks. There is a rock cycle concept map that you will do. If you're working in the Paper Lab notebook, you can actually fill in the rock cycle concept map. The answers will be in that 8.2 video for you. If you are doing the digital notes and submitting them online, there are just a few questions based on the information that you learned from the rock cycle concept map in the video, okay? There's also a sedimentary rock formation diagram on page 7 in your lab notebook. So you can just kind of talk about how do sedimentary rocks form over time. There is a free choice on the Quest for the Golden Trilobite game board, and it's a pick your mixtape. So there are 2 different fun science songs that have something to do with rocks. You can pick which one you want to listen to, or you can listen to both if you want. Then you will do the 8.2 quizzes. Again, that's just a practice link. So when you click on the quizzes, you don't have to sign in. There is no code. You just play the game. You can play it as many times as you like until you feel like you really know that information. Then you can move on to the 8.2 study guide section. And then lastly, you will have to get out of the game board and go to your homepage in Canvas and find the 8.2 Canvas quiz. Once you have taken that quiz, you can take it as many times as you like until you score at least an 80%, which means you get an 8 out of 10. I see most of you that have done the 8.1 have been doing 100, which is great. So that's stuff that I suggest you complete by Wednesday. Again, that's just a suggested pacing so that you don't procrastinate. You can do this on any day. You can split it up in any way you want as long as you get it done by Friday or Thursday. Thursday's technically the last day of school this week. And then once you've finished up the 8.2, we'll roll into 8.3, which is all about fossils. Everybody loves fossils because we start talking about dinosaurs and cool stuff like that. So your 8.3 notes on fossils and all the different types of fossils and how they form can be found and what we can learn from fossils, more importantly, in geology. There is a little trilobite evolution diagram. So I hope you figured out what a trilobite is. If you haven't, you will by 8.3. It is an index fossil, so it's a very special type of fossil. But you can see that they have changed over time. We see that through the evidence in the fossils in the sedimentary rock layers, how we have changed over time. So you should be able to answer the questions on page 5 or on your digital notes about the trilobite picture. There's a little dig it section with a picture and some questions on page 11. Another free choice on the game board. You can either listen to a song or you can do some review with your vocab 19. Play the 8.3 practice quizzes just to make sure you really got it. Check out the study guide section, and then lastly, you'll go back to the homepage in Canvas and find your 8.3 Canvas quiz and take that until you make at least an 80%. Okay, so we have 2 note sections, and when I say sections, that includes all the 8.3 stuff until you have finished it through the Canvas quiz, and then you can move on from there. Just a real quick peek at what next week will hold. Next week, spring break. So you don't have to do any work. I don't expect you to do any work. If you're really bored and want to, great, go right ahead. I'm not holding you back, but you do not technically have to do any assignments next week. The following week, the week of April 20th to the 24th, you will be studying your vocab lists and your stems that go with week 19 vocab, and we will actually take a vocab quiz that week, and then also be moving on in the notes to 8.4. Okay, so let's take a look really quick on Canvas where you can find all this stuff. I have changed things around a little bit since my last video. So based on questions that I was receiving and stuff like that, I did add this help section in case you need some help. Right now, there's just the one video there, but if I find that a lot of people are asking the same question or confused about the same thing, I will continue to post anything that I think might be helpful to everybody if you're struggling in this module. I also made another module to put the week at a glance thing that has your assignments so you know what you're supposed to do each week, and then the little video that I'm making right now. So these are the ones you saw last week, and they're copies because they were listed down here. But I didn't want you to not be able to move on in the geology module in case you had not clicked on those things. So I just moved them into their own module. These are the two that you've already seen for last week, and this will be the one for this week that I just showed you in the video I'm making right now. Then if we scroll down to the actual geology unit, you should have completed all of these things so far. So this was last week's work where you did the online syllabus. I'm going to click on this really quick just as an example in case you've missed it or you are a little bit behind. But when you click on the syllabus, click, there we go. I have a green publish button because I'm on my teacher view right now, but you have up in the top right hand corner a button that says mark as done. If you do not click that and it doesn't turn green, you can't see anything else in Canvas, or you can see it, but you can't click on it, which is kind of annoying. So if that's happening to you, open back up the online syllabus or whatever the last assignment you were on and make sure that you have clicked the button and it has turned green. Then you can push the home button to get back to where we were. And once you have done that, this will have a little green check mark right here like mine, and then you can move on to the next item. So again, all of this stuff is stuff we should have covered last week. This is the important stuff here. So geology playlist and digital notes. This is where we find the game board, the playlist right here. And this is also where you find your digital notes and where you will submit them on May 15th when they're all done, if you are opting for the online version. Okay, then down below is where you find quizzes links if you want them here. These are all found on the game board, so it probably makes more sense just to use them on the game board, but I put them there just as extra. Your 8.1 weathering and erosion quiz, hopefully you've already taken that. Once you take it and see how it says, score at least an 8 out of 10. Once you have achieved that goal, it will open up the next quiz, which is the 8.2 quiz, which is something you should be doing this week. So really quick, I'll show you on the game board where we're at. Again, the game board is right here. That's the playlist. When you click on that, it will open this guy. So back to the start, we should have done 8.1 and all the stuff that went through that. This week, you're starting right here on this little game piece, 8.2 notes on page 4. The rock cycle concept map is connected here. The diagram on page 7. This little microphone is the free choice where you get to pick your mixtape and listen to a science song that has something to do with types of rocks. If you click on this, this is your quizzes, so you can practice it, your study guide section, and then it moves on to 8.3. So once you complete that 8.2 study guide section, you'll need to go back to the home page on Canvas and take your 8.2 types of rock quiz. And then you can move on to the 8.3 stuff on the game board. So then your 8.3 notes, the trilobite diagram, the dig it diagram, another free choice right here on the star, 8.3 quizzes, the study guide section. Once I reach that 8.3 study guide section, I fill that out. Again, I flip back to Canvas and I should be able to take this 8.3 fossils quiz. Once you have done that, you can click on your Quizlet and study that a little bit. It does have a view, so if you don't click on this, it will not open up the vocab quiz for you. You do not have to take the vocab quiz yet, but if you're ahead, that's fine. I'm not going to hold you back, so you can take it if you want to. But we'll worry about that after spring break, okay? One last thing I do want to tell you is, and I think I forgot to mention it in my very first video, this game board is a competition. So usually when I do this in class, I would team you up with your group and everybody would participate together all the way through the game board to the end, and the first group in each class that finishes would get a special golden reward at the end. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do for you guys while we're online. Maybe if we go back May 18th, I can make sure you get your golden surprise. Otherwise, I'll figure something else out to do online for you, okay? So if you do finish all the things early, I'll see it in Canvas, but you can always email me and let me know, and I'll write you down on my winners list, okay? If you have any other questions, again, feel free to email me. I think I've been pretty responsive on the emails. Most of the things that I've had students email me about is that they can't find the notes. So again, the notes are right here if you're doing the online version. But you won't be able to click on those notes unless you've done everything above it. So it will be that way the whole unit. You have to click on each thing, and you need to, if it says mark as done, like mine does right here on the syllabus, you have to go up in that top right-hand corner and click and mark as done before the next thing will open, okay? All right, well, hang in there, stay safe. I'm sorry that you probably are not going anywhere for spring break. That is a super bummer. I might also check your email later this week for an email from me. I'm thinking about doing like a Zoom or a Google Meet, and maybe we can try to play Quizlet live to study for your vocab quiz, okay? All right, guys, bye.